Our lovely teams are called the Four Leaf. The way Future City works, you have 3 presenters. We're only allowed to have 3 presenters, and you'll introduce yourselves. But then the other 3 are just as much a part of the team. They just don't present, and sometimes by choice. And so we've got Addie, Kate, and Sydney as well on this team. So whenever you guys are ready.
This is the Four Leaf. I'm Poppy Plinka.
I'm Taj Bora.
And I'm Stanley Hawkinson.
Hello, I am Poppy Plinka, as previously stated. I'm here to view your city and gather ideas for my own town to make it better and more environmentally sound. Electricity is not a variable in many cities. There are things that all communities struggle with. They need guidance to accomplish making amenities that give their city stabilization and places for their feet to land. That's why I need help.
I agree, Poppy. Luckily, you have come to the right place. I'm Taj, the governor of Four Leaf. Our city is paving the way for clean and reliable energy all over the world. I'm here to introduce you to Stanley, our head engineer.
Thank you, Taj. Good morning, Poppy. In Four Leaf, we have many unique ways to generate electricity, some being our aluminum water wheels, our wind turbines, as well as our electronic pathways. All of these electricity things are powered and the energy stores into the industrial buildings or the energy conversion center and go into our electrical wires.
My city has windmills, although we are still struggling immensely. Are there any other methods of electricity you use?
Yes, like I previously stated, we have these electronic walkways. They have 2 parts. One, the top being the top layer made of a polymer, a natural or synthetic substance composed of large molecules called macromolecules. Macromolecules are multiples of simpler chemical units called monomers. The other layer is beneath the surface and are springs. When an organism steps on the springs, it creates spring elastic potential energy.
This is wonderful. I love your ideas. I still have some questions though. What does daily life look like for citizens here?
Well, Poppy, daily life for our citizens of Four Leaf look different for everyone. People get ready for work at different times based on which season they live in. Spring wakes up at 4:30, followed by summer, autumn, and winter at 5, 6, and 7:30 respectively. Autumn is homes and apartments are in the middle of the industrial and commercial areas, so the commute distance is relatively even. People wake up and go to their job, whether it is industrial districts as engineers or electricians, or commercial areas as doctors or teachers.
As someone who values routine, I love this rhythm you implement on waking up. Is there anyone who's unemployed and doesn't follow this repetition?
There are people who are unemployed or choose to stay at home. These people do not get to bring in the annual salary. However, that is not a very big deal for our city because multiple people love their job and enjoy to get up and go to work each morning.
As well as that, there are people that have 12-hour work shifts, and that's the maximum. One of our major modes of transportation is our electric train. Our train goes around in a full circle every hour. This also helps with the different times and not getting crowded in the roads and tracks. In all quarters of the city, there are commercial areas closest to the train station. In these commercial areas, there are plentiful things to do.
How can I get to places like the salon and mall? How do people of Four Leaf enjoy themselves?
Well, as previously stated, there is this train, and the train goes around at different hours based on the different time zones, so people can get to all the places that they want.
Yes, and because our train is all electric, it makes minimal sound, making a lot of people love the train and being able not to wake up in the morning to the big sounds it makes. Another way our train helps is we use flywheels. Flywheels are able to store the rotational energy it collects and keep it in their wheels to use for later. This helps by limiting the use of electric energy for our train. However, we also have solar panels on top that go into the battery in the back to be able to start up our train.
Why do people want to live in your city?
People come here for all the opportunities and advancements we have to offer. With our eco-friendly geodesic dome, our city is able to replicate 4 iconic seasons in an organized and structured way. Each quarter is separated into 3 districts for the people that live there. The closest to the center and trays line the commercial areas with easy access to other cities and necessary buildings such as schools, hospitals, grocery stores, etc. The industrial zones are on the outer edges. This is to prevent the citizens from worrying about noise pollution. We keep our home clean by not burning fossil fuels in our factories. In fact, we have wind turbines that collect all the energy to turn into electricity to power our industrial districts.
How does electricity get from one place to another?
Well, all the energy we collect goes into these electricity converters, and these move throughout our city, and they get stored in our electricity buildings in below our winter quarter.
The buildings that our head electrician just talked about have been constructed with 100% carbon fiber. We use this because of the buildings will be able to last multiple lifetimes. They'll be able to stand the harsh conditions of winter, and they will not erode over time.
That's very interesting. It seems like those buildings are very sustainable. What are some trade-offs your city had that made it what it is today?
Well, Poppy, our main goal of the city was to have 4 different climate spreads across our city. However, we realized that to do so, we would need to keep the atmosphere for the inside of our city from escaping to the outer world. And with that, we started constructing a weather machine and a geodesic zone that would make it happen.
Geodesic is a term for the distance between points connected with a sphere-like shape.
I love that the weather machine is how your seasons are regulated. It's really impressive. Thank you so much, Stanley and Taj. You filled my head with so many ideas to impact my city and our world. I will make sure everybody knows about the great city of Fort Lee.